Yo, 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 what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, the franchise player, Double B Bad Blood, joined here by Adam, according to Woods. And we are here live on the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast, man. Adam, how are you doing today?
Doing great, man. I had a power nap. That's something that I would do after 29 minutes of any particular physical, kind of avenue. But for 29 years, for those who don't know, this is the franchise player Bad Blood's 29th year anniversary of being in the wild and woolly world of professional wrestling.
Man, it's been a real rocky 29 years, I'll tell you that. Um, man, June 16th, 1992, exactly 31 minutes ago, 29 years ago, I jumped into a professional wrestling ring for the first time, man, and I gotta tell you, like all day today, I've been really emotional. I've had like a really rough week. You know, um, Lost a best friend. Um, just horrible, horrible shit has happened all this week, man. And I contemplated coming on the show, and Tony said, "Hey, man, you better do the show tonight because it's all about your your legacy in the business." And honestly, right now, man, I really don't. I mean, I don't really care too much about. I guess what I'm trying to say is like I don't know, man. I'm really I said I wasn't gonna get emotional tonight because I got a lot of other shit going on, and I didn't want to, you know, I didn't want to bring it up. But sometimes you just like, I guess the show must go on. You know what I'm saying? And so the show's gonna go on. I mean, we got Princess Victoria here tonight, a living legend in her
Legend.
own right. You know, um, we got your boy Adam Woods here, according to Woods, every week. On YouTube channel, man, the master of the MMA podcast, in my opinion, um, one of the best podcasts out there, one of the best co-hosts out there. And man, thank you very much for coming on tonight. Like, I really, I mean, I don't know, I don't know if I can do the show or not, but thank you for coming on.
No, again, it's an honor and privilege. Like I feel like the absolute J Bro, and I usually feel that anyway. But with you and your 29th year, Princess Victoria, a Sandy Barr pupil. I mean, the Sandy Barr is again synonymous with that Don Owen, Pacific Northwest, Oregon Territory. Like I'm a J Bro once more.
I love the fact that you were a wrestling historian, like you know so much about professional wrestling, man. And you know, um, there's a, I mean, we belong to a lot of groups together, and we all talk wrestling, and it's like a big part of our lives, and honestly, man, like you're you're doing the most, man. Like you are a hard worker. You work so hard, man, and it's like an honor and a privilege to even have you like be a part of this whole thing we got going on, man. I tell people all the time, I'm just a cog in the wheel. Um, I'm just here, man. I'm part of I'm a fixture, so to speak, and apparently I'm just a fixture in life as in general. So I'm just gonna go with that tonight. Um, but I mean, let's do this, man. Let's talk about Princess Victoria. I
Jeez.
mean, you can run it down.
So here's the deal. I love women's combat sports athletes, whether that be MMA, pro wrestling, what have you, because again, I don't think especially in the instance of pro wrestling, you know, it was women's and dwarfs. I don't even want to get into the M name that they were called or were referred to themselves as, but they were
Yeah,
kind of sideshow attractions. And at a time where we've got women's revolutions that literally prompted women's tag team titles in two of the three WWE branded shows featured week to week. Well, we have Princess Victoria, who has literally been the very first WWF Women's Tag Team Champions. Obviously bringing that over from the NWA. Uh, I just think it's just amazing. Her and Velvet McIntyre are essentially what Rocky Johnson and Tony Atlas were to African American tag teams. So they were the first women's tag team recognized, and they don't get their just due because it was just like kind of like the Jumping Bomb Angels kind of came in a little bit later and got kind of the heralded of that, but like it's just one of those like the U.S. Express, the team of Wyndham and Rotunda, right? Barry Windham and Mike
That's right.
Rotunda. Great tag team. Same thing with McIntyre and Princess Victoria. Impeccable tag team. That's why they were chosen to basically carry the gold from one promotion to the other. And again, I'm breathtaking. I'm astounded that I get to share space with her tonight. And
And you know what's crazy? You know what's really crazy? Not only did she do that, but McIntyre and Princess Victoria had a fucking love, man. Like they hated each other's guts.
Yeah. Much like
And
Atlas and Rocky Johnson.
Out of hatred comes, out of hatred comes something beautiful. And with that, I'm going to do this. I'm going to bring Princess Victoria on, so we can hear her own words, man. Like what it was like working for Vince Senior, what it was like working for the NWA. I mean, because I'm an NWA guy, as you can see, I hold these belts back here from the NWA, and let's do that, ladies and gentlemen. Princess Victoria.
Good evening, everybody. How y'all doing?
Hey, thank you for joining us tonight. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I understand it's your 29th anniversary in wrestling.
Yeah, I'm pretty fucking old.
I just turned 60 in May. I don't want to hear it. I'm honored to be on the show on your 29th anniversary. A lot of us don't make it 29 years. I'm one of them.
I'm lucky. I knock on wood that I made it 29 years without any major injuries. I mean, I've had a few.
You know what ended my career, correct?
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
I broke my neck in the ring. Girl went and picked me up. I can't remember if she's going to hang me in the turnbuckle or pile drive me, but she stumbled and she sat on my head. Now, understand, thanks to Sandy Barr, I'm sitting here, and I'm not sitting in a wheelchair.
Yeah, that's a mouthful right there, because it could have went a whole different way.
Well, if it hadn't been for the training, the physical training that Sandy not only put me through before I got into wrestling, but insisted that I continue to do on a daily basis, like Harvard Bridges. And a lot of people don't know what a Harvard Bridge is. But in my personal opinion, every wrestler in the world should be doing 3 sets of 20 a day.
Oh,
and
man,
for those who don't know,
training.
Huh?
That's a New Japan Dojo training right there.
He was pre-dojo training.
Oh, man.
We used to have, there was usually 2 to 4 garbage cans on the side of the ring when we were training. And it wasn't if you were going to throw up, it's when and could you hit the garbage can.
Oh, yeah. I've been there, done that. That's a New Japan dojo training. We have a drill called the Torimon drill. And that drill is a blow-up drill. It's designed to make you throw up.
Right. Well, the way Sandy trained, he designed his training to make you quit. Because if he could make you quit, you didn't belong in the business.
Exactly.
Man, and Princess Victoria, I kind of want to get into, because we kind of talked about what ultimately ended being your unfortunate undoing, but like, how did you first find professional wrestling and decide I want to do that? Because at the time, retiring in '84. Aside from like the Moolah kind of sideshow stuff, like there really wasn't a lot of women's wrestling, when you were coming up, and you are essentially a pioneer. But what was it about wrestling that drew you in?
Sandy tricked me. I was about 9 years old when my cousin took me to my first match, and I fell in love with Jimmy Snuka at 9 years old. I still got the 8x10 that he autographed for me at that match. And long story short, I ended up in Portland living on my own when I was 14. And I was living over on 23rd and Burnside. And I started going to the matches on Saturday night. Well, I was working up at that time. There was a Denny's restaurant on the corner, right-hand corner of 23rd and Burnside. And that's where I worked. But I always traded shifts on Saturday nights, which is a good money night for a waitress.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to be at the matches. Well, I ended up quitting Denny's and walked into the matches one night. And at this time, I finally, I'd met Sandy. Somehow my general admission ticket had started putting me on the front row, and I had wrestlers falling at my feet. Couldn't figure that out either. And I quit Denny's and I walked in the matches that night. I said, Sandy, I need a job. He says, really? He said, well, you can't work in that dress. He said, I'll see you tomorrow at 6:00 in the morning, because he had his flea market running. And I started. Well, from that point, from Friday nights until Sunday nights, I worked for Sandy. You started on Friday nights, tearing down the ring, setting up for the flea market, cleaning up the area. And then you went to the print shop, printed the programs. Then after the matches Saturday, you tore down the ring, set it up for Sunday flea market. And you got about 3 hours of sleep between Friday and Sunday. And one day I'm up there sweeping or flipping tables, I can't remember what, and Sandy came up to me. He says, I run this wrestling school. I said, okay. He said, well, I've got a girl who's wants to train, but I can't train her against the guys. Could you be a body in the ring? So I went the first night, the second night, and I went the first night, the next morning, the next evening, because when we trained, it was 2 to 3 hours in the morning. You got your afternoon off, and 2 to 3 hours at night. It wasn't this once a week, 1 hour, you pay $25.
Wow.
This was 7 days a week, and there were no excuses. Well, before I knew it, I came training one night. This girl was no longer there. And Sandy started training me with the guys. Now, you explain to me, how come she couldn't train with the guys, but he's training me with the guys? Mm-hmm. And see, I'd already been bit. This was, I was hooked. When I started, we were doing Greco-Roman collegiate style wrestling, sit-outs, takedowns, the whole 9 yards. Because one of Sandy's words to me were, if a fan comes in that ring, and I don't care how big he or she is, if you can't take them out, you don't belong in the wrestling ring.
Right.
That's true, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll tell you, I've actually been involved in a match where a dude jumped over the guardrail. And I think I hit that dude so fucking hard I shattered his nose.
Good. See,
yeah.
I even had to explain this to my family, and I'll say it again to all the fans out there. It's my job. It's Bad Blood's job to be in that ring. You have no business touching any wrestler. I don't care how much you hate him, unless you happen to be 82-year-old woman with a cane.
Oh, God. Ringside Rosie. Ringside Rosie.
You got it, brother.
Ringside Rosie. What's funny? Because I wrestled on the very first Triplemania card for AAA back in the day. It was up the rink in Tijuana. And that was a Mexican version of Ringside Rosie. She beat the shit out of you with a stick. And
Buddy, Ed, Piper, Any
Cosmos said
heel
it
that you
best.
can think of that was in the Pacific Northwest knew exactly where Rosie was,
Oh yeah.
knew exactly where she sat, and they knew that if they went over there and got in her face and got enough heat, she was going to smack them over the shoulders with a cane.
Oh yeah. I believe it. I totally 1000% believe it. Yeah. So you like Adam said earlier, the very first WWF and NWA Women's Tag Team Champion. You were also NWA United States Women's Champion.
You know, this may sound bad, but I don't remember being the women's NWA champion.
My God.
I remember the tag team, but you got to understand, during this time, there was one time Wendy Richter and I went on a tour. We never touched base in Columbia, South Carolina, where our homes were, for 9 months.
Wow.
This was not back in the day when you, like they do now. It's one town once a week.
Mm-hmm.
It was 7 or 8 matches because you could wrestle twice on Sunday. You know, you could wrestle outside of the fair Sunday afternoon and be at another venue Saturday night at 8 o'clock. And I'm not sure a lot of the guys could handle what we went through back in the day.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
You mentioned
I was working
Columbia.
3 nights a week, and sometimes my brother and I, LTP, and Sexy Chino, we would do a show, and I was talking about this on the podcast before. There would be a show with New Japan Dojo at 3 p.m. on a Sunday, and then 5 blocks away at 5 o'clock there was a Lucha show, and then at 7 o'clock the same night was another Lucha show, and we would hit all 3 of those shows in one day.
Yep, does
Nowadays,
not surprise me in the least.
Yeah, but it was. I mean, we did a lot of wrestling, you know, and now I sit back and think about it. You know, 29 years is a long time to be wrestling, and now you're talking about it like, you know, Wendy Richter. Wendy Richter was like, man, like a legend. You know, she was in the very first WrestleMania. You know, like she sparked off. She was one of the main igniters to sparking off WrestleMania.
Yep.
Wendy Richter, Captain Lou Albano.
When Lou Albano brought Cyndi Lauper in, and Cyndi Lauper teamed up with Wendy, and Wendy went Sheba, that was the beginning. That's when women's wrestling really just hit center stage, and we started being semi-main and main event in most of the towns we went to. From 81 to 84, when I was before I broke my neck, very seldom were we not semi-main event.
Well, I know here in the Pacific Northwest, you guys main event a lot of big shows here. I mean, Portland is a hotbed for professional wrestling. It was always a hotbed. I remember when I was living in California and I was like 15 years old, dreaming about becoming a professional wrestler, and I started training with the Glow Girls of all people, Mondo Guerrero and Billy
Ankle Biter,
Anderson.
Gremlina.
Yes, those guys trained we painted this little hole in the wall gym, and it was actual a car garage, and it was called Gil Garage, East LA. It was a little. I would get up and I lived in San Pedro, California, and that's a good. If you had a car, it's like a 30-minute drive to East LA, but I was riding the bus because I didn't have a car yet.
So you spent 2 hours a day on the bus.
Oh, 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours at night. Every Friday, I would go train there after school on Friday, and then I go back on Saturday. And fortunately, I was also being trained by Rey Mysterio Sr., so I would actually get a ride from a guy named Dan Faviano and a guy named Bronx Bomber. We would drive from LA to San Diego, and we would cross the border into TJ and go train at the gym in Tijuana.
You wanted it bad.
I mean, it was all I had, you know. Like I spoke earlier about losing people close to you. Wrestling was all I had when I started. And
I
I was
understand.
young. It kept me out of trouble. Mom and dad separated when I was little, and I went to live with my grandmother, and she happened to live next door to Mondo Guerrero.
Oh my Lord.
It's crazy. And it's my
The
grandmother.
universe just puts people right where you need them to be.
You know, I used to think that. I used to think that up until a couple of days ago. But my grandmother put me in amateur wrestling to help channel some of that, anger I was feeling.
I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah, I came home one day and I heard this noise. Boom, 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 right? So I'm like, what the fuck is that? So I look over the fence and it's Mondo Guerrero, it's Chavo Jr., Chavo Guerrero Sr., and Mysterio, Rey Mysterio Jr. So I look over the fence and I said, what are you guys doing over there? And they said, well, we're wrestling. I said, oh, you guys are doing that fake shit. And they said, oh, fake shit, huh? Well, what is it that you do?
Come here, little man. Let me show you something.
Right? Pretty much. So I said, I'm an AAU national champion. And they were like, oh, really? Well, why don't you come over here and show us some of your wrestling? Ladies and gentlemen, they beat my ass for about 3 weeks. They beat my ass. And Mondo asked me, he said, so kid, you show like you have a lot of skill. Do you want to learn how to make money by doing this? I said, sure. And I was like, some people drink, some people do drugs. Wrestling is my drug.
Right. I get you. There's nothing like it. And a lot of people don't understand. It is an addiction. I think from the first time I took my first good bump, it was like, oh, this is how this, I want to do this again.
It's a sick obsession, I'll tell you. It's like me.
Oh, I know. And Sandy was probably not putting anybody down because she can offer friends of mine, they've got their own school. But I think Sandy's school was a little different than a lot of the wrestling schools, because what Sandy would do is once we started training in professional wrestling, got past the Greco-Roman, he'd start bringing in whoever was in the territory for 1 or 2 days, because his thing was nobody wrestles the same. Nobody has the same moves. And in fact, one day we were in there, and Velvet and we started a match, dressed, gear, the whole 9 yards, the gimmick, all of that. He announced us like it was Frank up in the crow's nest. We walked out, not a soul in the building. And I had a belt on, and I had this Velcro skirt on, and I took off the belt, and I just kind of grabbed the skirt and pulled it aside. He said, no, start over. I said, what? Put it back on and start over. And when you go to take that skirt off, I want you to whip it and twirl it like Piper does. And I told him, I said, Sandy, I don't want to be Roddy Piper. He said, I don't want you to be Roddy Piper either. He said, but what you do is every one of these people that I bring through here, you take this much good and throw away the bad from each one of them. And by the time you're done, you're not going to be like Roddy Piper. You're not going to be like Ed Wiskowski. You're not going to be like Buddy Rose. You're going to be Princess Victoria.
Wow,
that's my praise.
Oh,
that's huge. That's huge.
Sandy was tough, and I credit him for saving my life. If he had not trained me the way he had trained me, and I didn't have a 13-inch neck at the time and 13-inch biceps. That doesn't sound like big for a man, but you got to understand, I was 5'9" and 145 pounds. Mm-hmm. But if he had not trained me to keep myself in the physical shape that I was in, I may not have walked out of that ring.
Well, I'll tell you, I for one know the toughness it takes to be a professional wrestler, and not to sound not to sound what's what I'm looking for here? Sexist, but it's double tough for women. You know, and I look at you guys as just being like to me, women in the industry are just workers. You're one of the boys, but sometimes when a guy is training a woman, they train them. They're a little more. What's what I'm looking
They're a
for,
little
Dave?
tougher on him.
That's the word I'm trying to get at.
Yeah,
Because
I
I'll tell
actually
you,
had a phone call from Jesse Barr not too long ago, and we were talking. And he said, "Yeah, I don't think I've ever told you about the day my dad called me and said I can't make this bitch quit."
oh man, I can see you saying that too.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
That,
He wasn't shy. In fact, uh, he finally, because I was taking the bus from West Portland, North Portland, which buses don't run on time. Like you said, 2 hours minimum. And he got tired of me being late because the buses were running late. He moved me and Velvet into his house with Sherry. Velvet and I
what?
shared a room while we were training.
With Sherry Martel.
No, no, Sherry, Sandy Barr's wife.
Oh, okay, okay.
Sherry was willing to have me and Velvet come live in their home. And to this day, I've not paid Sandy Barr 1 red cent. Now he's probably got 5,000 buckets of sweat and another
Yeah,
5,000 buckets of blood and probably 3,000 buckets of tears.
that's
But
the
he's
truth.
never took 1 penny from me.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing, and that's something that doesn't exist today, right? Is the first off the toughness, because you could look like a bronze goddess or Adonis and what have you, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're tough. And in a day and age where the advent of MMA over the last 20 and evolution of MMA in the last 25 years, we know that just body people aren't the person that you want in your corner if you're in a dark alley.
Right.
That's the truth.
Well, see, what's funny is when I came to Portland, when I first came to Portland, I was sleeping down by the wall downtown. And it depended on which way the wind was blowing as to which side of the wall you slept on. I've used newspapers for blankets. I've slept under the top of viaducts because it was warm. That's where all the car exhaust went. You stayed warm, but you woke up with a hell of a headache.
Wow.
And if it wasn't for wrestling, me being taken in, I mean, even before I started training, they brought me in as part of the family. And I credit wrestling in every way, including my neck being broke, Sandy training me the way he did, but not only that, wrestling in my day, and I'm sure when you started out, we were a family. And just like a family, you might get in a fight with so and so, but if he called you the next day and said, "Bruh, I need a place to stay," you said, "And you're not here yet."
Yeah, I I fully understand that. That's one of the things that that's one of the things that I credit to my wrestling family because a lot of guys, a lot of guys have become brothers, friends, best friends, and it's it's something. It is truly something. But what I want to do before I let you go, I know that you are selling a book. A book, I promise you, is probably going to sell. It's going to be a Times. It's going to be like a New York's top 10 seller because it's a legit like life and times of someone who has been through it all in this professional wrestling. Um,
Well, this book is not just about my life in wrestling. This
it's
is
about
my
your life in
life
general.
leading up to wrestling. And like I said a few seconds ago, and how wrestling saved my life.
What's the name of the
Because
book
where
and let
I
the
was
fans get it?
headed, I was headed to a ditch. I really was.
Yeah.
But anyway, the book is called Princess Victoria, Tales of Triumph, a tale of tears, triumphs, and, well, shoot, I can't even read the title on my own book. Now, ain't that wrong? Too many chair shots to the head.
Oh my God.
I believe it's
Tales, triumphs, and turnbuckles.
Right? Yeah, because we didn't use our hand.
Yeah, exactly.
It's called Princess Victoria, A Tale of Tears, Triumphs, and Turnbuckles. Now, you can get it from John Cosper, my co-author, at eatsleepandwrestle.com. It's also on Amazon. And I also am personally selling the book with personalized autographs. Now, if you want the book with a personalized autograph, you've got to find me on Facebook. And I'm on Facebook, Vicky Otis, VICKI, OT as in Tom, IS. And you'll know it's my page when you see it.
Yes. What I'll do is this. I'll actually put that in the description. This is because the show's live right now, but you can watch the replay on YouTube. You can watch it on Spotify, Google, Apple, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Amazon Music, and all other places that you can find this podcast. What I'll do is I'll put that in the link.
I really appreciate that, guys. I
right
appreciate you having me on. Congratulations on 29 years, brother. Keep going strong. I know. I can tell you're going through something right now.
Oh yeah.
Keep them shoulders square. Keep that head up.
I'm trying.
When you take that bump, keep that head up, or it's gonna knock you out.
Yeah, I take a cannon to the chest. I know. No concussions. Yeah. I mean, Cosmo's looking it up right now. Cosmo Williams is one half of the BCW Worldwide Tag Team Champions, and he is looking it up right now. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to make sure that book is on. I'm going to make sure that book is put on the BCW Worldwide page, as well as this podcast. I'm going to have that link in the bio on the Twitter page, also a Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast on Twitter.
You want me to send you both links?
Yes, please, and I will make sure.
I will do that as soon as I get off here.
Awesome. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the one and only Princess Victoria. Thank you for joining us here today on the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast, ma'am.
Thank you, gentlemen, for having me. All y'all stay safe out there. Get your vaccination. I know. Get the second one. It's got the battery in it for the original chip.
Well, my arm hasn't fallen off yet, so.
And
have a great evening.
I just love to say, just thank you for all your sacrifices, Princess Victoria, for what you've given to us as the fans. We can't thank you enough. And your continued support of wrestling, because you didn't just go away. You at Cauliflower Alley, you're supporting the next generations of women. Just thank you so much for your contributions.
Well, I appreciate it. And it's keeping me alive, you know. It takes a few of these gray hairs away when I'm sitting there signing, talking to the fans and all. And I still can't believe that my time in the business was so short, but that people still remember who I am, and I'm grateful to every fan out there.
It's truly a remarkable thing to be remembered by fans, even after your time is done in the ring. So congratulations on that. And I look forward to seeing you at Cauliflower. And I'm pretty sure I'll see you at a BCW event sometime soon.
Yeah, that's a real big possibility.
I know the booker, and I think I can.
Yeah, he's kind of a friend of mine.
Yeah. I know that guy. I think I can throw a little bit in there for him.
All right, I could use all the help I can get, because you know how stubborn he is sometimes.
Well, that guy's not the booker. I know the booker personally. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Princess Victoria. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll be back more with the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast after this.
Professional wrestling is one of the toughest sports going today. If you ever dreamed of being a professional wrestler, then former WWE superstar and World Tag Team Champion Sir Mo of the famed Tag Team Men on a Mission invites you, yes, you, to join his Bumps and Bruises Academy. Now in 2 locations in Carrollton, Texas, and Sherwood, Arkansas. Allow Sir Mo and his head coach, Dante Smiley, and other coaches to get you on the road to an exciting and rewarding career. Classes forming now for your shot. Contact Sir Mo at 704-819-7312 or fill out an information questionnaire now. Don't wait. Make your dreams come true today by joining the Bumps and Bruises Pro Wrestling Academy.
Hi, this is James Beard with SWE Fury, and you're watching the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Okay, now we're back, ladies and gentlemen, and this is the part of the podcast that I'm really scared about. Because some of the people who know me the most, who spent so much time with me, are now in the green room, so to speak. And I know there's going to be a lot of stories and probably embarrassing things that are going to be said, but, you know, it is what it is. So first, I'm going to bring in a man that I spent so many years of my life with. I mean, you know, he's, you know, practically blood. He's a man that I made my first trip to Portland, Oregon with, and I remember this horrible fucking trip. And he's the one that, you know, there aren't that many people that can make me feel emotional. So if you see me black out the screen, it's because he's probably got me crying. So ladies and gentlemen, my little brother, the best tag team partner man could ever have, LTP.
What's going down?
Man,
You already know.
I
I
knew
don't
it
know
too. I knew it too. I knew it. There aren't many people in the business that I credit my success to and who push me, even when I don't feel that I am worthy of the praise or whatever, whatnot, or the accolades or the push. You know, Adam always puts me over, and I always say, like, I'm just a cog in the wheel, man. I'm just here. You know, just exciting. He's always putting me over. He's always in my ear telling me, hey, man, you need to do this, man. Get off your ass and do this because, you know, and it really trips me out. And last week I had Sam Knight on the show, and he credited us, you and I, with him being where he is today. And I just sat there like in the back of my mind thinking to myself, I don't feel like I've done anything for anybody. And he's giving me all his praise. So the one person I know that can always make me cry is this dude right fucking here. So ladies and gentlemen, this is my little brother. Like I said, this is LTP.
All right. Well, thank you very much. You know, when I got the text, you know, I knew it was more than your birthday coming up. I was like, man, this old man, he's getting old. Like, he's getting old, man.
2
Like,
weeks.
man, I'm sorry. You were old like 15 years
though.
ago. It's all good. This is my brother, man. It's my brother.
Right here.
I don't think people understand. Like seriously. Like, I got brothers. Like, I got, you know, biological brothers that, you know, I'm talking about same mama, same daddy. You know, most white people don't believe that, you know, that happens in the black family, but you know what? It is what it is. Yep. I said it.
The play uncle doesn't exist.
Y'all not ready? I told y'all. I'm just saying. Just saying. Like, okay. BJ, Bad Blood, like the Ghetto Heisman, like, bro, like you are. I have never been closer to anyone else than I have been with you. We share a lot of shit. Okay, excuse my language. Can I say shit?
Hey, you can't say a lot of shit on the show because I might get in trouble.
You might cause a shit storm. Is what you're saying.
There's been a lot of laws being broken together. So
y'all don't even know. Y'all don't even know. We got stories, baby. We got stories. But I ain't. We got stories. But no, most importantly, though, like I said, this is my brother. I like, man, I love you more than, like, honestly. Like, people really people who know us understand the bond. They understand,
Yep.
But I don't know, like, man, we've had to fight for each other. Like, we've had to, it's just, it's us against the world, and it's always been us against the world. Like, as a tag team, singles, just in life itself, it's us versus the world. It's always been like, it is what it is. Like, we have nothing but love for people. We have nothing but, we put out there nothing but respect. And, because I have nothing but respect for everyone that's out there. And same with you. I know you have nothing but respect. However, it's like, it's got to be earned. Really, it's really got to be earned. Like, but like I said, we fought for each other. There's tons of politics in wrestling, and we've had nothing but each other's back in everything. And this goes further than wrestling itself. This goes, like I said, this is my brother, like his daughter. That's a funny story. That's a funny story.
When I talk shit, I hear her.
Yeah, it was like Batman, Batman and Robin around this beast.
Oh,
like, inside joke, Batman and Robin.
I'm gonna tell you the story, guys. So my daughter is 12, she's about to be 13. So we're in the house one day, and I said something to her. I'm like, you never see me and Bruce Wayne in the same place at the same time. And she's like, because you're not Bruce Wayne. I said, you're right, because I'm Batman. She's like, you're not Batman. I'm like, yeah, I'm Batman. And she's like, Dad, you're not Batman. I said, dude, I am. She goes, I'm going to call your brother. I said, okay, call him. I didn't even get a chance to text you. I was like, she was like sitting right next to me, and she called. And she has it on speaker. And she was like, is my dad Batman? And he was like, well, I'm Robin. She was so pissed. She got so pissed. She was like,
yeah,
this is crap.
It's that tells you that's just one little time, where like we don't have to say anything. We already know the joke. Like we're already in on it. Like you don't have to say nothing.
Speaking of jokes, remember that one time we stole the NWA hair tag team belts?
Oh yeah.
And we were gonna piss off Dave Marquez and
we took
Darkness,
the photo.
The photo with Darkness. Speaking of Darkness is here.
Jeez. I was hoping I was going to get a chance to get both of you guys and bring that damn picture up, but
oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Yes,
I love
that picture. That picture.
You know what's funny? Because like every few years, that picture pops up in my memories.
What was it? His face was like this.
Yeah, I forget what you wrote on there, like pissed off white boy or something like that. I forget what it was.
Call what it is, baby.
Yeah,
he's angry.
Yeah, something like that. That was before I had my official first match, so I was still doing ring crew and everything else. But yeah, envious of you too. So.
That's the funniest shit I've ever seen.
I can still do
life.
ring crew. I don't care. Like I go to a show and do some ring crew. Like I don't mind. Like it's a workout. Yeah. It's a nice little workout. See, that's the thing. That's the thing with a lot of these wrestlers, though. That's funny because remember when we were youngsters and like, oh man, you got these old people out here. Yeah, y'all better go out there and pay your dues and go ahead and help with the ring. And then they be sitting their butts in the back like we paid our dues. Like, I'm still out there, man. Still out there helping out, showing these young cats what to do, man. Like, it is what it is. Like. I'm all about helping,
Yeah. So.
But yeah, no, man, Dirkness, where you been, dog? how you been, man?
I've been doing good. I was gonna tell Bad Blood there that his almost 30-year career, like he was there for my first match. You both were actually. I was looking back on it, the Valley Rumble, and I was like, oh man. Yeah, you guys were both there, so that's kind of crazy that you popped up too at the same time. But yeah, in my first match, you both were there, and my latest match, well, not counting kids' birthday parties, you were there. So hey, you gotta scrape by however you can in these hard times. So
Man.
Yeah, kids' birthdays. That was my last wrestling match. But my last official BCW, Bad Blood was there. So yeah, it's good stuff. But
Man, don't you ever downplay a birthday party. Do you know how much money Martine Miranda made off of
Oh
birthday
my
parties?
God. See,
nah,
this-
it was legit.
Boy, you
It was
better go get your
legit. They had a
hustle on.
ring and everything, man.
See,
So
Adam,
Yeah, you better get your hustle on. What you doing?
See,
Don't
Adam,
downplay
this is what I
money
was
is money,
talking about.
baby.
I knew as soon as I got him on the show, there was gonna be some shit because he remembers. He knows. Okay, you know the old saying that that they know where the bodies are buried. You know why he knows why the bodies are buried? Because he helped me bury them. He's got a shovel in his car. We know. We know. So all the dirt that's gonna come out, especially like road trips. You know, I wish Chino was on the show with his book, because Chino wrote a fucking book about this squad goals for real, man.
Squad.
Fuck.
We gotta have a squad podcast right there. Gotta have a squad.
I'm telling you, the Vegas thing is gonna happen. I was gonna bring someone. I was gonna do a Vegas trip earlier. I was trying to plan a Vegas trip, but now that Vegas trip is coming up, I think I need that.
Well, yeah, because it's what you and Ike's, Sam Knight's birthdays are the same day. So,
Same day.
yeah, it's the same day. So you guys might as well come over. I'll take the weekend off and just go out and party. Like I said, we go ahead and stay at the spot. Stay at the spot. Where the liquor continues to pour and never ending.
Man,
and just have a great time.
So remember the very first time we came to Portland?
You mean the 36-hour trip?
Look,
What?
Adam.
On the
wait, before you even say what it was, Adam, let me ask you a question. Adam lives in California, ladies and gentlemen. Adam knows about like the 101 freeway. He knows like the Hollywood freeway. He knows how long it takes to get from downtown LA to, let's say, Glendale.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Adam,
how long does it take in a car? Well, let me paint the picture for you. Rush hour traffic on a Friday night. How long does it take to get from downtown LA Union Station to Glendale?
It can take on the 110. That's an hour trip.
Okay, you say an hour? Darkness. What do you say? You came from California. What do you say?
Depending on what was going on at the time, I mean, LA traffic. My God, 2 hours.
Is shitty. So, okay, so 2 hours. So Adam says 1 hour. You say 2 hours.
I go with
Jeremy. How long did it take?
Yeah, I'm gonna say. Okay, well, on a Friday night at that time, I'd say about normally about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Normally.
Okay.
Normally.
How long did it take us on the Amtrak?
Oh Jesus.
I believe it was 30. It was like 30. It was between 32 and 36 hours.
What? Huh? You can walk there.
I don't know how
time.
We could have moonwalked there.
I don't know how fucking slow this thing was, but it took literally, like, I went to sleep and woke up and we were still in the same fucking spot hours later.
I would have
It
jumped
was
the fuck off.
the worst fucking trip I ever made in my life.
I would have been a box scared children and fucking took my shit and left.
Hey,
what the hell?
Because whatever. Kevin saved us after that though. Kevin saved us.
And and this is the one time Kevin Brandt isn't in the fucking chat. This is the one time he's not on the show, watching the show. Or wait, I think he was watching the show. He probably is. Yeah, Kevin Brandt. This was Kevin Brandt, CPW, coming to Portland, Oregon. It was probably like the longest trip ever. And then Sam Sims and Kevin Brandt flew us the next time he came. And the next time we came on
oh shoot.
We came on a plane.
We came on a death trap. Is it considered a plane? It's considered a plane?
I mean, you look, I'll put you this way. When someone says, "Excuse me, sir, how much do you weigh?" And it's the pilot. And he says, "How much do you weigh?" And I say, like 200 pounds. She's like, "Can you sit over here?" And how much do you weigh, sir? And like you were like 165 or some shit. He's like, "Can you
Yeah,
sit
like
over here?" I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, why the fuck is he asking us to sit on these edges of the plane? It's because the weight differential. This airplane was so fucking rickety. It was one of those twin turbo props where like it's
have you ever seen La
propellers.
Bamba?
Man,
Man. Oh, no, he didn't.
man, I was feeling like Buddy Holly. I swear to God, I was feeling like Buddy Holly.
No.
I was fucking looking at him talking about, oh, Donna. Like I didn't want to fucking go. Like it was
gone.
bad. So the plane takes off and it's vibrating. And we're in fucking San Francisco and it's vibrating, right? Like not like a, you know, when someone calls your cell phone, you know, how like bzzz, like that. No, imagine that like 100 times. It was vibrating so bad to where I'm like gripping the seat and I'm ripping the seat because I was gripping it so hard. And I look over at him and he looks over at me and he's like, "It's okay, bro. It's okay." And I'm like, "We're going to die today. We are going to die." And as I said, we're going to die today, the fucking propeller stopped. I literally shit on myself.
It did.
It was horrible. And the worst part about it was we had to take the same flight back.
Oh, no.
That was the worst part.
Yes, Shane. It really was a fucking Final Destination vibe on that plane. It was. Oh man.
Man, and was that a wrestling trip or that's just general premise?
That was a wrestling trip. We were coming to wrestle from LA to Portland. Yeah, it was something. It was definitely something. Oh man. I'll tell you, man, like we've had some experiences, man. I will say I've done a lot of first with Jeremy. I will say I love the fact that you always have my back in life, just in general life. Like when I have a problem, he's the one person I can call, and he's gone. He's in Las Vegas.
I love how you're always there for me. Bink, and he's gone.
He's gone.
Dang.
Yeah. So I mean, Darkness, do you have any stories about you and I, or just things that you've seen in general that have involved around this crazy 29 years?
Well, I can't speak for 29 years because I've only been around for like 10 of them. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, you were there for my first match. I remember like just before I got to know you, just hating you because you went to town on High Fly and Stephen Andrews' back with a chair. And everyone in the back is like, "What the hell is he doing? No, he's going into business for himself." I'm like, "What's going on? Because Steve and I trained together and he helped train me, and you're just like working him over with this chair like he had stolen something from you. You were just like, you were pissed legit at him for something. I don't know what it was, but and then he comes back and I'm like, "Are you okay? And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm good. I'm good." I'm like, "Steve, look at your back."
Tag team match.
Yeah, that was like the first.
It was Steve, Simon Lotto, and Jarrell Jacob Diaz versus LTP, me, and fucking Hernandez from Impact Wrestling.
What the fuck?
And I remember I told Steve I hit him with the chair and he was supposed to bump and roll away and he wouldn't go away. And Hernandez was like, "Murder him." So I fucking murdered him.
That's right. Yeah.
And as I'm hitting Steve, I'm like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?"
Steve, though, like you could legit break his neck and he would just be like, bounce right up and be like, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. It's a little stiff. I'm good. I'm good." It's like, "Steve, man, come on. You're hemorrhaging from your nose and you got something coming out of your ear there. What's going on?" "No, I'm good. I'm good." But yeah, that night, man, that was the first exposure to Bad Blood that I had. And I was just, like, the whole locker room was pissed at you. But once everything got sorted out afterward, that's how it goes. Steve was fine. You're fine. Everything was, but as it's happening, it's like Mick Foley and his wife and kids are watching this. Like, we're all just like, like hands to our faces as you're just working Steve over. And he came back just smiling. So, yeah, forget it. If he ain't mad, we had no reason to be mad about it. So
people believe I'm one of the safest guys to ever wrestle, except that one time I did a dive outside the ring, and I think I was maybe like 2 feet away from where I was supposed to be because I took off wrong. And Darkness here saved my life.
I'm glad that you give me credit for it now.
Hey, honestly, I will tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, there has been so many crazy things that have happened in wrestling. I remember LTP, I'll tell you, I got a broken rib from a guy fucking moving out of the way and did a crossbody off of a roof at a bar. And I beat the shit out of that guy too. But I dived and I was like a foot, maybe 2 feet away, and Darkness slid up under me and caught me.
Surely
To
did.
be sure I didn't die. It broke his leg in the process.
What?
Yeah, that was the night of the broken leg.
The night of the broken leg? That's
yeah.
Do tell.
So
Darkness.
it was Bad Blood and Buddy Highway against Darkness and Big Vicious, and he went for the spot, and I guess V had a bad knee, and he was like, "No dive spots, everything's fine. Don't dive on me," because his knee was messed up. He got into a fight with Honky Tonk Man or something. I don't remember what the story was with his knee.
What?
We'll talk about that too.
That's a whole other story. But so his knee got messed up with Honky Tonk Man and Kevin Sullivan and all this other. So he's like, "No dive spots. I can't do any." I was like, "Okay, fine. I'll see if I can just take the brunt of it. Whatever." So Bad Blood goes for her first time. It wasn't right. So he stopped, like kind of slapped us a little bit, ran back for a second time, hit the ropes and jumped. And as I go to look up, I look to one side of me and Big Vicious had walked in one direction. I look at the other side of me and Buddy Highway had walked in another direction. And I just see Bad Blood coming at me full force. I was just like, oh, this is going to hurt. So I grabbed him and it didn't hurt until my leg got caught on the carpet. And my body moved, but my foot and leg had stuck in the carpet, so it twisted me. I take Bad Blood and myself's entire weight and just basically collapsed down onto my left leg.
His leg looked like this, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching.
Yeah. So it folded up underneath me. It crushed my ankle and it broke the small bone on the lower part of your leg. And I'm just laying there, and I knew it because it felt like if you crack your knuckles, but like your whole leg it was like that kind of a pop. And I look over at Bad Blood laying there, and I'm like, I just broke my fucking leg. And he's like, what? I'm like, it's broken. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, it feels pretty fucking broken to me. I was like, oh Jesus, please just be a sprain, just something like that. I tried to get up and I couldn't.
Dude.
Yeah, I was. I kept having flashbacks of Sid. Like,
I was gonna say, remember when Sid jumped off the top rope and he broke his leg? It was just like that, dude.
Yeah.
And Darkness has PTSD from dive spots now.
First dive spot after the broken leg and I had come back was just exciting. No, it was Justix. Was it you?
It was me. Justix was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm like, nope, I'm gonna do it. And then I died and I fucking hugged you like, just don't fall. Please don't fall.
Yeah. One of the first ones was Justix, and he had jumped and dived, and I just caught him, and he's like, I was like, like gouge my eyes or something so I can fall backwards. So I just grabbed a hold of him and stood there. I'm like, oh crap, because he jumped from the inside of the ring to the outside. And I was like, I was supposed to go down and like fight outside the ring and stuff, but I was so scared that first couple of times, I just grabbed him and just like froze. So I did have a little PTSD after that. But
I will tell you, I have wrestled Darkness about 100 times after that, and every time I go for a dive spot, I think to myself, please don't fall, please don't fall, please don't fall. Okay, he didn't fall.
Yeah, I don't. I have flashbacks every time.
Kurt Angle died. Like I don't have to wait on. It's just me.
It was the Alex Shelley through the ropes, So it was But Darkness, man, thank you very much for saving my life that night. And shit. See, this is the type of stuff that like happens in wrestling shit. I mean, man. Thank you,
man. I can't believe you left. I can't believe you left SoCal, man. You left SoCal. You went up there to the Oregon area, or whatever, and just killed it. So, I'm proud of you, just from sitting back and watching. Like, I'm really happy for you, man. I'm glad that you went and you actually did something. When you love this business so much, and you go and you put in the work, you deserve to shine. And SoCal, man, there's just so much talent here. There's so much talent. It's oversaturated. And there's a lot of promoters that play favorites. That's why a lot of the cards look exactly the same. And, that's why we want diversity. And for you to be able to go up to, the Pacific Northwest and go ahead and make a name for yourself and get your time to shine and your opportunity, man, I've been able to sit back and watch. It's the same thing for, what's his name? Who used to team with Mercury? Johnny
Paradise.
Yeah, Johnny Paradise. Johnny Paradise, really solid wrestler, went up there and, did even more work. So, proud of that guy too for, the contributions he's made, to the Pacific Northwest as well, killing it up there. So, like I said, very, very happy for you, man, and everything that you've done. It's just great being able to see you from the beginning and, and to where you ended up. So good work, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And like I said, two of you guys saw me from the beginning, and it's kind of cool that, seeing you guys now. So thank you.
Hey, well, thank you very much for joining us, bro.
Yeah.
The Dark Asylum podcast while you're here.
Whoa.
Sure.
We're not letting him get away without telling that honky tonk
Oh,
fucking story. No, that shit ain't happening.
I don't know enough of the story. I just got secondhand accounts from Big Vicious. So talk to somebody that was there.
I was in the match. I was there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Talk to Bethwood about that one.
Look,
it's a good story, though.
Look. Basically, it goes down like this. Kevin Sullivan, we all know, is a crazy wild man. I love you, Kevin, if you're watching. Oh, look who's in the chat right here. LT, look at this.
Oh, snap.
Mojo from Texas.
I remember Mojo. Mojo was dope. That's my
dude. Mojo came to the New Japan Dojo with us for a while and was doing the tryout.
He did.
Yeah,
yes, he
shout
did.
out to Mojo right there. Yeah. So basically, what it boils down to, Adam, is we had a 6-man tag team street fight. It was Kevin Sullivan, myself, and Buddy Highway, and it was against Havoc and the role models. And basically, it got wild and crazy, and we were beating the shit out of them. Like this was a fight all over the building. No, it was Havoc. No. It was Big Vicious, Honky Tonk Man, and Chauncey Webler, the boxer. And they were a 6-man tag team match against me, Buddy Highway, and Kevin Sullivan. And we were beating the shit out of them. And Honky Tonk Man just fucking was on their team and went into business for himself against his own team. He was like, fuck it, I ain't taking no bumps. I ain't doing this and that. He fucking jammed a Big V in the ropes. And Big V's knee got all tweaked because he does the whole spot where he puts his arms. His knee got tweaked. And then Honky was like, I'm hitting somebody with the guitar. Maybe they be my teammates. I don't know.
He had a New Jack moment.
Oh no, it was crazy. Like shout out to Big V for taking that guitar shot, but his own teammate gave it to him, and it was fucking ridiculous.
That was a crazy night because that Chauncey guy was like, he was a boxer. And he's like, well, I don't know how to really wrestle, but it's just like, oh, this is not going to go well.
Yeah, so it was a shit show. But Kevin Sullivan, he was like, hey, fuck it. let's just beat that guy's ass. And that's the way it happened.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
That's the way the knee crumbled, according to Honky Tonk Man. And JB Moonshine said it best. Honky Tonk Man is such a dick. He was. Look, we took him back to the hotel, and all he kept saying to me was, hey, brother, can you find us some hookers? Because I'm going to go ahead and get my socks knocked off real quick, and probably do it before I get home to the wife, because the wife ain't going to give me nothing like that. And yeah, man, if y'all don't want to get me no hookers, I'll never fucking come here again. We're like, okay, guess I won't be seeing your fucking ass anymore.
Is that why he hasn't been back, or
That's why he hasn't been back, because I wouldn't get him hookers and coke.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, shit, I'm not the Godfather. I ain't got hoes.
Yeah.
Monkey's straight edge. What are you talking about?
All
What?
you have to do is go to
Yeah,
the bathroom in Vegas.
He was, I know, right? He was straight off the edge, all right?
Woo!
Man, he was something. It was something. But hey, Darkness, man, thank you very much for joining us. I love the fact that you came on the show. You're always welcome here. And like I said, you want to plug the Dark Asylum podcast?
Yeah, it's go on Anchor FM and just look up Dark Asylum podcast. You can look it up on Apple and everything else. It's me, Big Vicious, and wonderful Zach Winters. And we talk a little bit about wrestling, but mostly it's all kinds of other stuff that we like, video games, comic books, just basically trying to keep ourselves sane during this whole lockdown thing. So, but we had to do something, so that's what we did. Yeah, most people hit the gym or, start up some kind of fitness regime, and we all sat down in front of our computers and complained about comic books and video games. So, but yeah, so that's what we've been doing.
Well, it sounds like a great thing, man. And ladies and gentlemen, you can listen to that show. Like I said, on Anchor.fm, it's a pretty interesting show. Zach has no filter. So if you like that, Zach has come on this podcast and has no filter. So if you can explain, if you can understand that, then you can definitely watch that Dark Asylum podcast. And Darkness, once again, man, thanks for joining us here.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. And here's to another 29 years, man. Congratulations.
Trying to be like 90 years old.
His old ass, but
Yeah,
I'm doing
nah.
this 29 years from now.
You're gonna be the Ric Flair of this thing, man.
Oh,
That was
wow.
a fucking male Mae Young. That's what he's going for.
Whoa,
There you go.
Hold on now. Mae Young has a soggy. Never mind.
She's
yeah.
dead, damn it. She's dead. She shouldn't have a soggy anything. Good God.
Oh, man.
God.
Yeah. All right.
is some
Well,
good
Oh no! When you creak, I'm just saying, if you creaking while walking, you done. Like you don't need
Man.
to do no more.
if I'm expelling dust while I walk, I should probably just give it up, right?
Farting
Yeah.
dust and stuff like
You guys
that,
are all
man.
sick. You guys are all sick individuals. You guys are sick.
Man.
Mae Young was a legend in this business, you fuckers. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen, with more of the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Drive me insane! All these rules are lame, cause they're taking all the fun out! Drive me insane! All these rules are lame, cause they're taking all the fun out! Drive me insane! All these
When you want to get your hair cut, you go get your hair cut right. You head down to Big D's Barbershop. Big D's Barbershop, Vancouver, Washington's best and brightest. 1019 Main Street, Vancouver, Washington, where you can go get your hair lined up, cuts, fades, shampoos, conditions, and all the great things that go with supporting a local barbershop in a local business area. You can also reach them online at www.bigdsbarbershop.com. Go get your haircut right.
And we are back. Man, so crazy.
That was a nice surprise.
Yeah, I can't believe 29 years, man. Can't believe
Man,
it.
that's crazy.
But,
That's crazy, man. Hey, you know what? You know what's really crazy though, is the speech that you're gonna make at the next wrestling show when you go. You see these boots? You see this bag? This bag. Man. See this bag? This bag got more years in the business than you. do.
okay, Adam, look, I'm gonna have LT tell you this fucking story, man.
Okay.
And ladies and gentlemen, please understand that I'm not a dick. I mean, I'm kind of a
You
dick.
might have one. Right?
I'm
pretty much told
I'm kind of a dick
It's a,
sometimes.
okay, anytime somebody, like we said, like I said at the beginning, I said, look, we give respect, okay, all day. We will give you the respect, okay. However, if you show any like the slightest disrespect, and it doesn't even have to be towards us, it's like towards the business itself. If you feel like you're too grown or too big to not help with the ring when you see me or you see, Bad Blood over there, helping set up chairs or whatever, but you feel like you're too big and bad. Oh, okay. Well, you're going to get a talking to. Okay. Because your little 3, 4, 5 years, or your little, you had 1 or 2 good matches situations, or you wrestled somebody where the promoter, paid, I don't know, let's just say Doink the Clown or something like that, or Chavo Guerrero to come in and you got a W over him or something like that at some fed or whatever, but you feeling yourself a little too much. Okay. And you got a couple years under you, 3, 4, green, you're still green. BJ will gladly put you back in your place, where he will give you the talk, where it goes, hey, you see my bag? This bag has 15 years in the business. Your bag is at 24 years in the business.
I had to get a new one over here.
Your boots are 18 years in the business, and it's come on. These boots have way more mileage than you do. Okay. Don't you ever come in disrespect. Don't you ever come and disrespect wrestling in general. Don't you ever. This bag got more seniority than you. Okay. You can't get dressed until this bag gets dressed. You can't leave the locker room until this bag leaves the locker room. Okay. You can't come in here until this bag is in here. It's that kind of situation. You got to wait in line. This bag gets to eat before you get to eat. And because it's that serious. It's really that serious. When you're feeling yourself too much, he would definitely give you that talk.
I remember telling him, you know what? As a matter of fact, you're gonna go job to this bag right now.
There you go.
And he was pissed. He was like, "What the fuck do you mean?" I'm like, "The bag is over." He's like, "What do you mean? The fucking bag is over." That's what I mean.
Yeah. It's a true statement. True statement. Man. That's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite speeches right there. I die every time he goes. You see, as soon as he grabs his bag, I'm like, I'm dying. I'm in the corner.
I didn't mean to be mean. I was just like, I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
like, did you really just say all that? Okay, check this out, dude. You see these boots? These boots have been in more countries than you have. These boots have more passports on them than you do. See these stamps right here? You see these laces? They've been around legends. As a matter of fact, you're gonna go ahead and drop to these boots.
Yeah, it's statements, man. It's true. It's true though.
Man.
Yeah, it was like these what do they call them? Greenhorns. These guys. No, because there's a lot of talent out there. It's just there's a lot of talent that be feeling themselves too much. And when you're feeling just wait, what is that? I never forget the moment where BJ put me over at one time. Never. Oh, okay. Cool. Thanks for putting him over, BJ. I read that.
The one person in the world that I fucking had the greatest time in my entire fucking 29 years of wrestling putting over. I put over Sexy Chino 3 times in one day.
Bro, oh yes you did.
Sexy Chino's the skinniest little Peru. You know who Sexy Chino is, Adam?
Yes, I know Sexy Chino.
I put Sexy Chino over 3 times in one day. I ain't give a fuck.
Why is that?
Because Chino is God. That's why. Chino is the fucking man, dude.
Okay, Chino is hands down. Like I said, we're squad. Like Chino is the man, and that's inside the ring. That's outside the ring. He is what a real man should be. Okay, and number one is he's loyal to the fullest. Loyal. Okay, whether it's the promotion, if as long as they're treating him right. The wrestlers, his friends, he don't mind putting over anybody whatsoever. He does not mind putting anyone over. That's why, I don't mind if I ever get in the ring again with Chino. Of course, I want him to, anytime I'm in the ring with Chino, I'd rather Chino go over because there's no point of me putting me over. For what? I'm already over. I ain't worried about it.
Oh, shit. Chino is the king. Chino is the king of the battle royal. Chino has won every fucking battle royal he's ever been in.
He is the SoCal king, man. He truly is the SoCal king. We should. He really is. You can't meet one wrestler, one promoter, or commentator who has anything negative really to say about him.
That's true.
Well, they say what he doesn't fit the mold. He doesn't
Yeah,
fit the
we
mold
put
or
him
something
in
like that. That's
place.
pretty much all it. But
We
Chino can
legit-
outwork so many.
We legit left a wrestling company. We were like, "Fuck this! We are all leaving," because that promoter treated Chino like shit. I was
Yeah.
like, you know, fuck you, I'm out. Never went back. Never went back.
There's
WCW
so
and
many.
marketplace.
Oh yeah, there's so many promotions. There's so many promotions that I just up and left, and they'd be like, "Hey, how come you haven't worked at that place for for a while?" It's like, like, to be honest, they either treated BJ bad or they treated Chino bad. Like, it's, or
Fuck with the squad.
if you treat me bad, like, I'm kind of like, whatever. Like, I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about it. But when my boys are different. My boys are different.
People,
Don't
I
disrespect
tell
them.
people all the time, there are people that I would lay my life down for, and like legit, there are people that I would do everything. And lately, I did all these things for a person, and it kind of I can't even talk about it. That's how bad it is. It kind of put me in a mind frame that like I totally was not good enough for what I did. Then I realized, I sit back and I start thinking, like, you know, there's guys like LTP, there's guys like Just Exciting, there's guys like you, Adam, there's guys, you know, like Darkness and Sexy Chino and Mojo and Shane and JB fucking Moonshine, and you know that you know, they always say, hey, thanks for doing this for me, man. I don't feel like I've done anything for anybody. I feel like I'm just there. Like I'm always here, and I'm always going to be here. And I always tell like Jeremy will tell you, if I love you, I love you 1,000%. There's nothing that anyone can tell me bad about you. They can say, Jeremy's a fucking murderer. He killed like 50 people. Well, okay, I probably buried 49 of them. I mean, shit, I don't know. You know?
Let the record say I had no part in it.
Yeah, in case the police are listening, those are the views of Adam Woods and Adam Woods only. They do not reflect those of the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to get over the fact that I still kind of resemble OJ. That I can't get that down.
Do you have a glove on?
No.
Did it fit?
No, never, never.
Shit, that's right.
I
It didn't fit. Mr. Quick.
No, because it's no. I don't.
I don't drive a white Bronco though.
I'm no.
I drive a white Ford.
Want the new one? The new one looks cool. Damn it! Fuck it.
I drive a white Ford. I might be and shit, you know. But you know, I'm one of those people that I will always be loyal to the people that I love, and you know, I remember, and you know, not to be too personal, but I'm always personal on this show. But I remember a couple years ago, and I was sitting at work, and I get a phone call from Jeremy's ex-wife. She says, "Hey, I gotta talk to you about your brother." And the first thing I said to her was, "Okay, stop. Now, before you say anything, I want you to know that is my brother, and I don't give two fucks about what he said or did. Continue." And she was like, "But I said, now, let me tell you again before we go any further. I don't give a fuck what you say, and you need to watch what you say because that's my family." And she was like, "Okay." So, with that being said, and this goes out to people who are listening to the podcast. If I love you, it's unconditional. There's nothing that can't be forgiven. There's nothing that can't be fixed. There's nothing that can't be overlooked. You know, because I've always been that way. So for all the fans who've either loved me, hated me, booed me, you know, all the haters that fucking are probably watching this podcast, or the ones that watch my matches, or the ones that talk shit, you know, Yokozuna once said to me, haters are just your fans in denial. And I said, what do you mean? He said, because if someone actually spends a lot of time researching shit to talk about, then they are a hater, but they are a fan. Adam Woods, we have a friend that hates AEW with a fucking passion. Is all literally posting in our group, "Oh, AEW has tickets on sale for a small venue in New York." why? Why do you fucking care? Oh, I know why you care, because you're a fan. Because you spend so much time talking shit about a product, you're a fan. So for those people who watch, those people who talk shit, people who talked about Chino, people talked about LCP, people talked about me, people talk about Adam Woods. You guys are all just fans in denial. And I love it. I fucking love it. So for the ones that are actually there, that are loyal to, 100%. I love you guys. In my personal life,
We love you too.
of course, in my personal life,
You know I love you. You know I got you.
don't say I love too many people, and the ones I do say I love you to, you know that it's legit.
Yeah.
I got a shovel in my car. I'm just saying. I know a good place in the desert. Just saying.
Wait, is that where Ric Flair's?
Hey! We can't be talking about that.
Went?
We can't be talking about that.
Right.
That's how we get in trouble. We already gonna be demonetized for the podcast, so what the fuck ever. But I have a story that Jeremy probably didn't want to bring up, but I'm gonna bring it up because it was really funny. And it. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. It looks like
Is this the one I wanted to save for when the squad's together?
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Chino was texting me right now.
I was gonna say, if you're pulling up Super Gabacho right now.
Oh my god. No.
Super what? Again, I need this. This needs to not be so insider.
We
Hey,
love Super
well,
Gabacho.
Baby, damn it.
Adam, we're gonna go to Vegas for my birthday, and you need to bring your fucking ass to Vegas. If I have to pay
Okay.
your wife to fucking let you leave the house,
That's not kayfabe at all.
after the week I've had, I need this shit. I need to go. But we used to go to the strip club all the time.
Uh-oh.
It was LTP, Sexy Chino.
You're trying to go to Lacey?
I believe it was that sorry ass son of a bitch, Mr. California, who introduced us to this place.
Oh God.
And Steve Payne.
Oh.
Steve Payne from AAA. I don't know what his fucking gimmick name is now, AAA, but Steve Payne. So
It's Steve Payne still.
Oh, it's still Steve Payne? Okay, Steve Payne from AAA. So we go to this strip club, and these girls, they're hitting on us. So we would go like every fucking week, bro. Like, I don't understand why these girls were so stupid, but we would go every week, and we would be like, hey, it's Chino's birthday. And they would give him they would bring him on the stage and give him the fucking birthday lap dance for free. Every week we would go, hey, it's Chino's birthday. He'd be like, oh, happy birthday, Chino. He gets on the stage. Always Chino's birthday. Chino was a ladies' man. So we bring Chino on stage, and me and LT are sitting there, and we were fucking, we're putting dollars on the stage, and this one stripper said something smart to him, to you, and I just remember him like, man, fuck this bitch, and pulled out a Susan B. Anthony. That's the fucking coin.
Oh, no.
Threw it on the stage.
No, because she was rolling up the dollar bills.
Yes.
And she was put
in her mouth.
Yeah. And then she was like,
yeah. It wasn't her mouth, Adam. I'll just put you that way. But
Okay.
We're gonna say her mouth because we're on the podcast here.
So the thing about it though, you can't remember that it's not week to week. Sexy Chino's birthday every week, and then also be considered a smart stripper. Like that's sacrilege, right? I don't know. That's weird. It's weird.
It was funny.
It
was so funny. Like, it was some of the funniest shit I've ever experienced in my life. But
hey, remember the sample situation?
Oh my God.
Uh-oh. No, you can't. No, don't prairie dog that fucking story.
These are road stories.
LTV,
Look, I'm going to bring Just Excited online. I want him to hear this shit too. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my boy, Just Excited. Okay. So now you can tell the story about the samples.
All right. Okay.
This is road warrior life, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I've settled down.
Strip club trips. A lot of strip club trips. Okay, a lot of them. Because strip clubs and strippers and wrestlers go hand in hand. Same business. Yeah. So
pretty much.
Everyone's getting fucked.
Okay. So
Not really.
So I'm going to we go to this club or whatever. lady, you know, she come up to me and she's like, "Ooh, you want a lap dance?" Now, I just got paid. Like, I ain't trying to spend no money on you. Really, I'm not trying to. I'll throw a couple dollars your way. But I know the game. Like, I'm just trying to have a good time, listen to some music and watch, you know, the dancing. And so she comes up, "Hey, you want a lap dance?" And I'm like, "Well, how much?" And she was like, "Oh, it's $40." And I was like, "Oh, nah, I'm good." And she was like, "Come on, baby." I was like, "Well, what am I gonna get for that?" And she was like, "You know, you have all this." And I was like, "Okay, well, let me get a sample."
What, to someone clap?
Oh no.
Wait.
No.
So then she says, "Oh, you want a sample?" I said, "Yeah, I want a sample." So she said, "All right, cool." So she takes me to the back. One song goes by. 2 songs go by.
We're sitting at the table like, what the fuck going on?
3 songs go by. 4 songs go by. And then she goes, I said, "Okay, cool." I was like, "That was dope." And then she was like, "Okay."
Those are dope.
She was like, "Okay, so that's gonna be $160." And I was like, "For a sample?"
He was like, "We got to go."
I was like, "It was a sample. I asked for a sample." She said, oh no, you got to pay for these dances." I said, "No, I asked for a sample. It's not my fault. You stayed on it. You was enjoying yourself." So she was. So then she was like, "Oh, well, you see that guy over there? He's gonna get me my money." And I said, "Okay, well, go talk to him." So she got up, she got her stuff, and she went to him, and I walked right out. And I was like, "Gotta go."
He walked up to us at the table, and he was like, "Hey, we gotta go."
I'm dying, bro.
I'm like, "We better get into a fight."
When you said sample, I thought you took the gal of the night to Costco, and she might have made it clap in a fucking sample of mashed potatoes or some shit. I don't know.
Look, it don't hurt to ask.
That
To
was
ask her
Snyder.
making it clap in mashed potatoes. I guess that's
a talent.
For the record, I'm married, folks. I might get put out of the house. We're asking because my wife is part Filipino. We don't waste no goddamn food in here.
If your wife is watching this podcast, she gonna get your ass in trouble.
That was
You better not get in trouble. You shouldn't even listen to what I just said.
The couch
You trying to get messed up.
Looking very nice right now.
Yeah, that was a Zack Snyder length sample.
Yeah, I know. Holy shit! Yeah,
it was the Snyder cut. It was legit Snyder cut. Man, and these all ladies and gentlemen.
I was like,
shit that goes on the road. Like it used to go on the road.
Was a sample.
He's the reason why I don't do that shit anymore. Look, I don't do the strip clubs anymore. I don't do the bars. I legit will fucking go wrestle, go to the hotel, and go home. It's because of my little brother right there. He said, "Get my ass in trouble."
That's a good move. Good move. Smart man.
I'm surprised I survived 29 years in the business because of these motherfuckers, man. I'm telling you.
So it's not this 20 some odd, like the 24 before. It's the last 5 that are the fucking debauchery ones. So good God. Thank you, Just Exciting LTP.
Good luck.
No worries.
Right?
No worries.
Just Excited over here gonna get me in trouble all the time. He be doing that shit. This motherfucker, man. Look, he always want to do the crazy shit.
I'm glad you're continuing the tradition.
You know what it is? Hey, like no lie, bro. Look, LTP and I are the kings of the TLC in California because we legit had so many fucking TLC matches with Suburban Commandos or the Stoner Brothers now. I remember a TLC match we had where it ended up being a step stool. It was like one of those little. Remember, the WWE wrestling rings, the toy ones. These motherfuckers were fighting all over the building. I'm crawling to the ladder to grab the belt. It's tied to the thing, and I finally reach the top of the belt. And I'm going to pull the tag team belt down, and I hear, "Don't fucking do it!" And I'm like, "Okay, don't do it." I look down, and they got this motherfucker in the Doomsday device, right? No, they had this move with the Fizz bomb. Like fucking flip him up in the air and they catch him in reverse RKO, but it's like a RKO and a power bomb at the same time, right? They throw him like 5 feet up in the air. and it had a small like WWE wrestling ring in the ring, and a bunch of Legos, and a little ass fucking ladder. They were making fun of it being small, like they were calling him LTP, little tiny person, because he's short.
They always call me little tiny person.
And they powerbombed his ass on that wrestling ring, and I was just like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Man, hey, remember we had that crazy match? What was that? At Devil Mountain with them?
Mm-hmm.
That was never. It wasn't filmed. It was one of the best matches that we've had with the Commandos. That was when they did the Fizz Bomb deal. Was it the Razor's Edge? And then he threw me to to the other one who was on the apron.
Oh yeah.
And then power bombed me through the table. Mm-hmm. And I was like, we did so much crazy stuff in that match, and all I got was a broken my toenail came off.
Dude, look, I was once again.
That was it.
My dumb ass is on the ladder. I'm reaching for the belt, and it's on this. It's not even like on a hook. It's on this fucking like string, right? And the string was all the way across the fucking gym. So the belt's like drooping in the middle of the ring. I go to grab it, and fucking DJ Riz, rest in peace, he fucking kicked the ladder out from under me, and I'm hanging on the fucking string, swinging back and forth like this, and they throw LTP right into me.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, they
so
call pieces.
That's what you meant by wrestlers and strippers the same, because you guys both hang by a thread, right?
Yeah.
It's one of my moves, man. Hanging by a thread.
There you go.
Yeah.
Which is different from Lifehouse's hanging by a moment, right? Because that shit was a song in '97. I feel
that's some blue type of shit right there.
Yeah, catching on though, catching on quick.
Man. So, like I said, this Vegas trip needs to come up, man.
When is it happening?
I don't know how much I should actually put out there on this Vegas trip. This trip is going to be crazy. I censor all my trips though. I censor them all when it comes to social media. Like it's pretty insane what I do, and I'm out there every weekend. So
it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard.
Are you ready?
I'm just saying.
JT,
like,
you gonna be there? You better go. It's BJ's birthday.
I mean,
Same night.
I had someone I was gonna bring, but they backed out. So LT.
I don't know if you want to bring anybody. I'm just saying.
For the cases,
I don't get home until I leave. I leave at like 7 p.m. I get back at like 12 p.m.
I remember this party. It was a birthday party that I had, and we were at a nightclub in Long Beach, and it was the first time I ever had Grey Goose.
Okay.
Legit. It was like the fucking big ass, like human sized bottle of Grey Goose.
Grey Goose, yeah.
And I remember Chino bought the bottle of Grey Goose and was like, "We're gonna get you drunk on your birthday," and that was the last thing I remember.
That's great.
I just remember standing up next to this bottle, and there was hundreds of pictures. Kachina was sending me pictures like for weeks. I was like, "Oh, look at it," and I was like, "What we do that?" He goes, "Don't ask. It's going in the book." And Chino will always tell us, "Hey man, it's going in the book. It's going in the book."
Oh yeah, it's going in the book. It's going in the book.
We did a wrestling show in fucking San Francisco at the Cow Palace. I know I talked about this show before because it was when we had Chris Kloss on the line from XBW. It was a night that I don't know if you people have ever watched that show, Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah.
But Dog's son, Leland, was training to be an MMA fighter.
I remember
I remember this.
And we were at
Hawaii.
It was me, LTP, Alexis Drevko, Dark Sheik, formerly Sam Kalabadi, but Dark Sheik, April Hunter,
what's his name?
It was Jimmy Snuka, April Hunter, and I think it was the Nasty Boys, or maybe it was the Pit Bulls. We were at a bar, drinking at the bar, and April Hunter was talking to Don Fry of UFC fame.
Man. Oh no!
And I guess Don Fry and Leland had words earlier in the night, and Leland was like, "Hey, fuck you, Don," and Don was like, "Look, little boy, go sit the fuck down." And Leland walked up to him and was like, "Fuck you," and just took a fair one, boom, knock Don Fry's ass out.
What the fuck?
And we were like, "Oh shit!" And Iron Sheik was like, "You knocked him the fuck out," and he fucking took off running. And the police came. The police were running around the hotel looking for Leland. And I remember because I got heat with Abraham Hunter for like years because I found it hilarious. I fucking laughed my ass off. It was funny to me. But the next like an hour or two later, we were at the bar again, and Leland comes up and boom, fucks Don Fry's ass up again. Don Fry had like a big ass fucking like Easter egg sized fucking egg on his face, dude. It was funny as shit.
I blame Take. I fucking blame Takayama because now Don Fly can't handle fucking hits like he used to in fucking '97. Damn it! So I mean, and you know what? It's befallen not to speak ill, but fucking Takayama has had bad health lately. I want to feel like it was because bashing fucking Don Fry in the head. That's kind of where it comes from. Bad karma. Bad fucking
Well, I
karma.
will tell you that it was crazy. It was crazy. But I'm pretty sure Just Exciting has some crazy ass stories, some shit we've got. So go ahead, dish out, spill your tea.
Bro, I gotta decipher through the fucking mayhem.
Oh shit. You gotta get the ones that you can actually say on the podcast. Is that it?
Like, cause we can go from like the crazy promoter story. We can go.
Oh yeah, spill that tea.
Oh yeah, bro. What the? Okay. So
let's get that in.
Okay, I'm about to pick and choose my wording, but so I need y'all to stay with me. All right, because
apparently he hasn't been watching this podcast because I don't pick and choose my shit. So
yeah, exactly.
No, because this, bro, this fucking trip was crazy.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so we get into town, we touch down. We're right in the back seat. It's me, BJ, and our homeboy.
Oh my God, I knew you were gonna say this shit.
Nigga, I'm going straight for the heat one. I'm not going for the first one. I'm going for the heat one.
How about you go for the nice one?
Yeah, no, I'm going for the heat. So okay. BJ is known for having his earbuds in, like his little Bluetooth. He'd be like listening to his Bluetooth, not even listening to what's going on around him. Same thing with my brother, who was with us. He had his little Beats by Dre on. And he wasn't even listening to the promoter.
Bill, you know who he's talking about. He's talking about Jason from Santino Brothers.
Jay Baptiste from Santino.
Jay Baptiste.
Oh, okay,
yeah. So that's my brother. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I brought.
That's your brother. What? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
oh, dope.
I brought him on a booking with us. We just first time we're all out somewhere. You know what I mean? So they have their headphones on. You know what I mean? And I don't. I didn't bring no headphones. I was asked out, and the promoter brought his mom to pick us up.
This story already gets funny.
Mind you, this promoter's like hella old and grown, and he has his mom in the passenger seat. Yeah, okay. Well, hey, shit. There we go.
Victor just calling people out by name.
It was Mercer.
Victor just calling people out by name.
Remember, these two right here got they Bluetooth on. They ain't listening to the conversation that I'm hearing right now. Dude is talking about being scammed, like with his mom. How like the people call your phone?
Yeah.
It's pretty scam likely.
And scam likely, and they'll tell you like your license is suspended or something, or you missed a court date, something like that. Well, this dude was talking to his mom about how he got scammed, saying that his court date got him a warrant. And then his next sentence was, oh my God. I cannot believe nobody else heard this, bro. Like his next sentence was, I thought I was through with that minor case. When he said that, I was just like, I
The
sat
thing he
there.
looks at me with this look like, did you just hear that?
Yeah, I'm like, hold on. Let me. So I didn't say nothing. I just wanted him to keep talking with his mom. His mom. like,
Yeah.
And
what?
Yeah. So this dude got scammed for $10,000 because little do you know, he
Oh shit, we lost LGP again.
had a prior offense with minors and was having a freaking casual conversation with his mom.
Like, hey, hey, my girlfriend started working out at the gym today.
Yeah,
a comment like that,
Like it was a trip to the grocery store. And I'm like, is anybody else hearing this? But mind you, we are in the middle of nowhere. In the middle of nowhere. Like, this dude, he has full control over us. Like, we're in the middle of nowhere. And these two have not heard nothing that I just heard. So I'm like, am I tripping? Should I panic? Say something? Should I, okay, I'm gonna wait. We get to the hotel, and I guess we all, everybody that was in town for the show, we go eat. After we get to the hotel, we put our stuff in the hotel and everything, we go eat. He comes, it was red flag after red flag. He comes to the restaurant and was like, what were you guys doing in the hotel?
Oh my God, yes, that's right. He pulled me to the side. He's like, your partner was smoking weed in the hotel.
He was like, yeah, he was like, you're
probably
smoking.
My business.
Yeah, he was smoking weed. He was like, you're doing something. I'm like, why would you say I was doing anything? And then he's like, because they won't let me rent out to them no more.
We're like, but we're still here.
We're still here. So mind you, the reason why they won't, I found out why, is because they had to run a deeper background check because he was renting so many rooms for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So what was on his record?
Wow, the pedo case.
The pedo case.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
It was
so
up there.
that confirmed it. We was out of there the very next day. Peace you. Fuck you. You fucking asshole. Bro, it was the craziest.
And I remember he was like, he calls me up and he's like, why would you say you're never going to come work for me again? And I'm like, well, because I have a 12-year-old daughter. He's like, but it's not girls, it's boys. And I was like, excuse me?
Whoa.
Yes.
But I will tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it's been crazy the last couple of years. Speaking of movement, yeah, Victor, you're right. Victor had this is Ava Mercer. Mercer Sage, yeah, Elite Wrestling Initiative, North Dakota. True statement. But yeah, it's crazy. So
I remember when we got back to the hotel, me and BJ literally stood in the fucking hallway and talked for an hour about what we wanted to do. We were like, should we just beat his ass? Should we we were contemplating something.
Man, it was a lot of thinking going on that night. I was like, we're never coming back here.
Bruh. Craziest freaking thing ever. But besides that, the fucking most fucked up thing he ever did was make fun of me for carrying my title throughout the airport because I had too much shit and I didn't know how to pack good at the time.
Okay, so that was funny.
Traveling that much.
Look, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. I was going to do this little video documentary one time just when I was traveling because, we like to do funny stuff when we travel, kind of like BTE, those little BTE bits, And I get to the airport and I text him. I'm like, where you at, bro? And he's like, I'm on my way. And I look up and I see him. He's going through security. He's carrying the BCW Worldwide belt over his shoulder. He's wearing these fluffy ass, I don't know what kind of fucking onesie he was wearing. And he had a Pornhub t-shirt on.
Oh my gosh. Hey, before I cut out, I'm on some Negro shit right now. Excuse my language, but I'm on Negro shit. I'm at 1%. Like I'm at 1%. So this shit gonna cut off on me, nigga. No,
Oh my god. And he's gone. That's my brother, ladies and gentlemen.
Tried to make it. He tried to make it.
He tried to make it. He gonna text me in the middle of the night. I'll tell you one thing about LTP. One thing, the reason I love him so much, man. Now, I mean, I love him because he's my brother. But you know, when I go through things, like I was going through a thing with a girlfriend, and she hurt me really bad, and I was to the point where I was like, I lost him, man. Like I was just like I couldn't take anymore. You know what I mean? Like I had already lost so much. And I call him, and he gives me the usual brother pep talk. He always hypes me up. One thing about him is he hypes me up. He always keeps me sane and grounded, And he's also the only person that makes me cry. Like, yeah, I'm a tough dude. I'm an asshole, blah blah blah, whatever, whatnot. But he knows that I love deep, and this girl I love like 100% more than I loved anyone else before. So I told him, hey man, we're probably not gonna make that trip to Vegas. And he's like, well, what happened? And I'm like, well, this happened. And he's like, wow, man, well, look, it can be one of two ways. And apparently he had been talking to this chick, and they were like, long story short, he is always there to have my back. And he is always there to pick me up when I'm down. And for that, I love him. And like I love you guys. Like Spencer, I love you. You were like tired than a duck's ass. You annoy the fuck out of me sometimes, but that's what it is. You have a good heart. And yeah, I know. Like even today, you were like, "What's wrong? Let's talk." And I'm like, "I don't want to talk about it." And you're like, "Let's talk." So he's on the podcast. My boy's on Facebook. He's in Facebook prison right now. I'm trying to parole him, trying to bail him out.
Again, I got 27 more days.
Oh my god, this guy.
I need a post.
OnlyFans links. That's why your ass is in jail right now. That's why he's in jail right now, ladies and gentlemen. But I do want to say,
don't go to Parlor.
My inbox works though.
Parlor. I do want to say thank you very much for coming on, bro. Like, just the stories and just hanging out and just, I really needed that shit because I've been pretty shitty the last couple of days. And for the ones that have messaged me and asked me if I'm okay, yeah, I'm not okay, but I'm here. And thank you for your concern, but I'm here. And 29 years in the making, man. I've been doing this a long time. Like I said, June 16th, 1992, 7:30 p.m. I stepped in the ring for the first time, and I wrestled. It was me and Mondo Guerrero against a guy named James Boone, the Shadow Man, and Ludwig Borga, who was the Viking Tony Holm at the time. Ludwig Borga became a WWE guy, he beat Lex Luger, all this other bullshit, and he became top guy. And then, unfortunately, he passed away. But Mondo Guerrero, Bill Anderson, Rey Mysterio, the New Japan Dojo, Hiroko Inoki, and Simon Inoki, and Durango Kid, Eric Watts, Willie Mack, Willie Mack, TJP, all the guys at Ultimate Pro Wrestling UPW back in the day. Like I said, Bill Anderson, Tim Patterson, Louis Spicoli, Dan Fabiano, Al Lyons, the Bronx Bomber, Ricky Romero, Ricky Reyes, Christopher Daniels, and Kevin Quinn. Those were guys that ran the Raw Center in Huntington Beach, in El Segundo. And then I would go down to UPW to do the light shows, and Foob Dog would be there, and Samoa Joe. Sometimes Bobby D would come, and he would train with us. Just a litany of guys, man. KG Skoda, Baby Slim, Jason Redondo and B-Boy, the late John Roberts, Just Gil Ariano. Gil Ariano was a lucha guy who had a garage, a legit car garage. Like, he would be the guy. You go to his gym, and he'd be under a car full of fucking grease. He'd slide out from the car, and you give him your $5. And you go in there, and you start training with the luchas. Those guys are the reason why I lasted so long. Bobby Bradley, Jesse Hernandez, those are guys that I think, Joey Chaos, the late Supreme, the Neighborhoods, like, fuck, man, there's so many people, man. White Trash Johnny Webb, one Beautiful Deck Stud, the Mauler, like, all these guys, Alex Knight, Ed Aarons, just fuck, man, there's so many people I can thank. Patty Dietz, Shannon Mashin, Tex Thompson, just fucking, Vinny Vane, all the guys at the NWA that trusted me and gave me an opportunity to live my dream and to break these records and do these things. Tommy Celsius and Kevin Grant for bringing me to Portland in the first place. Thank you. Thank every person that's ever, bought a ticket to come see me. Even the ones that follow me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, all those fucking social medias, LinkedIn, everything. JB Moonshine for always being a fucking stand-up dude. Everyone in the BCW Worldwide Locker Room, the whole IWA affiliate group, Sir Mo, Dante Smiley, CC, everybody that's ever believed in me enough to stand by me and help me live my dream. The ones that were there for me when I was, doing right, when I was doing wrong. The ones that slapped the shit out of me and said, hey, get your shit together. Just all those people, man. Thank you. Thank you so much for believing in this little skinny kid from fucking San Pedro, California, fucking volleyball playing, surfer, fucking skateboarding town, to be able to, like, wrestle in other countries and live like a fucking dream. I've gone to Hawaii 11 fucking times, man. I would never have gone wrestle on an aircraft carrier in Guam. Like, who the fuck does that? I've been going through some shit the last couple of days, and I'm broken. I ain't gonna lie. I'm fucking broken, man. But this shit tonight, like the stories and just hanging out with you guys and, shooting the shit and like thinking about like 29 fucking years, man, that's a long time. That's like a full, like, that's a whole adult life. Something, like, fuck, man. Like, wow. I mean, like I said, I wasn't gonna cry or anything like that, and I wasn't gonna get all emotional and shit. And then, Adam, you come on here and, like, you're fucking, like, telling me, I'm talking to you about it. You're like, man, it's an honor. No, dude, it's an honor to have you on the show, bro. I'm nobody. I'm just a dude who loves to make people happy. And, I'm a dude who loves to go out there and do what I do, in the ring, out of the ring, and just in general life. I'm that guy who will sell his house to help you buy a house. I'm that guy who would, give up everything to make you happy. I'm that guy who will, I'm that guy. And sometimes it really sucks to be that guy. But, to all the people that have ever been a part of my wrestling career or even just in my life in general, thank you very much. It's been fucking crazy, man. And I said I was going to say this. I wasn't going to say this, but tonight at 9:54 p.m., June 16th, 2021, I am going to announce my retirement tour. Officially 1 year from today. That's going to be it.
Finito.
So, if you've ever wanted to watch me wrestle, if you ever want to be a part of the whole craziness that's the fucking Bad Blood fucking Rampage tour, now is your chance. Because when the clock strikes 30, I'm good. I've done everything I could do. So, but the podcast will live on. I will be doing the podcast. I'll tell you that because I promised Tony I would do that. But I haven't spoken to anybody about this decision. Not LTP, and Jeremy is my brother. He's like the closest person in the world to me. I haven't spoken to him about it. My best friend, I haven't spoken to her about it. I haven't spoken to anyone about this. And over the last couple of days, it's become pretty evident that when I make a decision like this, I want to make a decision based on the way I feel. My mom passed away last year, July 21st, literally 20 days after my birthday. And just life hasn't been the same. And then with recent events, life just isn't going to be the same. And I don't know. I feel that I've given all I can give. And I will give more. I will give you guys one last 365 days. I will bust my ass and I will work twice as hard as I ever have in my entire life because that's what I do. I work hard to please the people that I care about, and I'm going to do that. So 365 days from today. That's it. I don't know what else to say. Thank you for supporting me all this time, and I love all of you guys.
Love you too. Is there one place that, like, one either booking or venue that you would like to kind of, I guess, hang your hat on that you haven't wrestled before, or crowd that you haven't worked before in front of before? Anything that is personal to you that you're kind of looking to do in this next kind of tenure of your life and career?
Honestly, man, I don't know. I mean, I dreamed of wrestling for the NWA World Title, and I got to do that in front of my friends and family in Portland. And I came that close to beating Tim Storm for the NWA World Title. And James Beard told me that was the best match he's seen me wrestle. And when James Beard said something like that to me, it was amazing. I remember I was going to wrestle Tim Storm for the NWA North American Heavyweight Championship in Texas. And my brother called me, and he always tells me he's proud of me. You know, he's always hyped. He's always telling me he's proud of me. Like we joke and we talk shit about like the stupid stuff we've done when we were younger, but he's like my biggest cheerleader. He really hypes me up in personal life and in wrestling. You know, he is my constant. I know that sounds weird, but he's my constant. And he called me and he was like, "Hey, I'm proud of you. You go to Texas and you fucking kick that ass." And I was like, "Man, I'm nervous." And he's like, "You don't need to be nervous, bro. You got this shit." And I'm like, "Dude, what are you doing?" He said, "What do you mean?" I was like, "It's so fucking loud behind you." He's like, "Oh, I'm in traffic, man. I'll talk to you later." And he hangs up. So I get on the plane. And I fly from LA to fucking Dallas, Texas. And as soon as I land, I turn my phone back on and he calls. He says, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I just got off the plane." And he's like, "Okay, cool. You go kick that ass tonight, okay?" And I'm like, "All right, man, I will do that." And I hang the phone up and I turn around. This motherfucker is standing right behind me. He literally booked a flight to fly to fucking Texas to watch me. Yeah. So I always feel like I have to give 110% to people who support me and the people who care. So I try to do that in my wrestling life, in my personal life. Like, just I try to do it, try to do it all because I want to be the person that is always there for everyone and to do everything to help people like they help me. So Yeah, I don't know where I would wrestle my last match, or who I'd wrestle against, or I mean, I'm the OIWA North American champion. I've got that. I got Big Red right there. I got to defend her, and make her a household name like I did the other 3 belts in that trophy case, and then the AIWF American title like I did that. So I have a lot of work to do, and yeah, I'm just going to dedicate this year to Momo. Yeah. So I mean, it is what it is, man. I mean, I've wrestled in the Cow Palace in San Francisco. That was a dream. Where would you like to see me wrestle? Just 6. Where would you like to wrestle with me?
Man, me? Bro, I honestly, I don't know. Probably sound like a broken record to you, but I always tell you to stop effing around and stop taking it easy and nice and being like, oh, I don't want to do that. And you get an offer to really just home run. So, like, we already, like, bruh, NWA strong. You know what I mean? But I feel like, honestly, you could step on the quote unquote one of the big stages again, even if it's for whatever reason. But there's something to be done, bro. There's something somewhere. Ring of Honor, freaking somewhere, bro. Somewhere.
Japan tour, maybe.
I think that
you're a dojo boy, so LA, you know what I mean? Like, there's something you can do.
I don't know, man. I mean, shit. My whole goal is to do for others. You know, I've always been, I've been fortunate and lucky to last 29 years. I've been fortunate and lucky to have such amazing people support me and be part of my world and help me be the best that I can be. So I think it's my turn to help everyone else be the best as they can be. You know, so you're always telling me, you know, do for you. I've never really done for me. Does it make sense? I've always been one to do for other people because I want to make sure that other people have what I have. I've been blessed, man. I've been blessed with a great career. I have a nice home. I have a beautiful daughter. You know, I have a beautiful son. I have nice cars. I have nice clothes. I have a great job. I have a great career. But it's my turn to make sure that other people have the things that I have, because at the end of the day, man, like I say this all the time. I'm just a cog in a machine. I'm just a wheel that, you know, I'm helping the machine work. And, you know, someone once told me, and I'm just going to bear it all out to you, ladies and gentlemen, because the few people who know me really personally know I have such severe stage fright. Like, it don't seem like it, right? Like, it don't seem like I have stage fright at all, but I literally, my music plays, Spencer, when my music hits, where do I go?
To the bathroom.
Every show. You know, and my partner, Patty, she's always like, why is your entrance always so fucking long? Because I run to the bathroom and pee. Like, I get nervous. And then once I go out that curtain, the first like minute out that curtain, I'm nervous as shit. Like, I'm like, I'm fucking scared balls, bro. Like, I got that curtain and it's like, I get the pop and I start getting the crowd going and everything like that. And then it hits me. Okay, you're good. You're good. You know, and then after that match is over, I go back to the back and sit down like, fuck. Okay, one more week down. You know, so like trying to figure out a place to wrestle my last match, or even I will tell you that it will be at BCW. That's a house that I built with a lot of hard work from everyone in that locker room, from the great booking to television, Tony Burns, great fucking TV producer. you know, Douglas Rockefeller and Mason Storm, Victor, great fucking commentators. Even the merch guy, Tim Simmons, man. Even the fucking sign guy, man. Sign guy is a great ref, and I shit on sign guy all the time, but I love sign guy. You know, I put over everyone in the BCW locker room as being the best, bar none, hands down. If you don't like that, don't at me. But yeah, man. Shit, I don't even know, man. I mean, BCW is where it's going to happen. I don't know when, but I do know before June 16th of 2022, it'll happen. You never know. And I'll tell you this. I'm not going to say when. I'm not even going to say who. It's just going to happen one night. And when it happens, the people close to me will know. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on this crazy, wild, outlandish show. What we call the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast. Special shout out to my sponsor, the 503 Originals. That's right, www.503originals.com. You can buy hat, t-shirts, hoodies, sweaters, joggers, socks, fucking beanies, coasters, whatever. That's the place to go.
I miss you guys at the shows too. They were freaking live at the shows, bro.
Yes, man. Yeah, they're coming back. And if you want to support this channel, you can go to support the channel at https://anchor.fm/the-roundtable/support. Because trust and believe, we need your money. You can find us on Twitter at the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast on the Twitter machine. You can find Adam Woods at Adam K. Woods on Twitter and all other platforms. You can find him at According to Woods. You can also, Adam, I'm going to throw this to you. Where can they see us on television?
That is simple. You're going to go to Xfinity/CenturyLink TV Portland or in the area Monday nights, 10 p.m. Pacific, Channel 11, XFTV, and CLTV. And you can also catch it on Tuesday, 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Channel 22, XFTV, Channel 8002 CLTV, or Wednesday night at 9:30 Pacific Standard Time on Channel 3 XFTV and Channel 8003 on CLTV. And if you don't know, now you know.
I tell you, man, we're pretty much everywhere. Once again, you can find us on every one of those major podcast networks, and we're talking about every last effing one of them. And you can find us on Google, Apple, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio. You can find us on all the great podcast stations that you can find those magical words. BCW Worldwide presents the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast. Oh, man. Shout out to Big D's Barbershop. Thank you very much for always lining me up with the sickest fades. Thank you very much once again to everyone that has ever supported the franchise. Who's ever come to a show, who's ever watched this podcast, who's ever sent me a friend request on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, fucking whatever. Thank you very much for putting up with my shit for the last 29 years. Yeah, I mean, shit. Thank you very much. Special shout out to my mom watching me, and thank you very much. Special shout out to Momo. You know who that is. My daughter, my great daughter in the other room. Shout out to her for not stressing me the fuck out. Shout out to Patty Dietz. Got a new knee, ladies and gentlemen. She's at home resting up from that knee surgery. So yeah, shout out to her. Shout out to my boy Michael. Hope you got her soon. Yeah. So thank you very much for joining us. A crazy edition of the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast for Adam Woods and just exciting to franchise. Thank you.